Previously on Tradwife Reacts to Modern Feminist Anthems.
Sing, sweet nightingale, sing, sweet nightingale. Oh, sing, sweet nightingale, high above me. What's this? You are a dumb trad wife who needs a wake-up call. Listen to what enlightened women have to say. Oh, my. Okay. This was a mistake! Alright, the last song. Now, this one, it just was recommended in a list of like feminist empowerment songs and the like. And I listened to a short bit of it and oh my gosh, this one is heartbreaking, but also really cool. Like everything about it's cool, but I'll just let you see. This one is by Lydia the Bard. The song is called Feed Us Your Girls.
Young girl or a pretty meal, the line is just so fine. Little Red walked out alone, joining the buffet of the night. See the wolves, they wait and watch now, hoping for a bite. Fresh meat on a busy street, the minute you're out of sight. Little Red walked out alone, joining the buffet of the night.
So right there, the opening is really powerful. Lyrics as well as I like this this animated lyric video. It's pretty cool. So I love that she is using, you know, common images that we know of, like Little Red Riding Hood and stuff like that. And young girl or a pretty meal, the line is just so fine. That's a very impactful line. And I'm liking the way she's singing too.
Little Red, she knows these streets, so why should she be afraid? She walks out with a blood red cloak, but red's his favorite shade. You'll attract the wrong attention, wearing colors such as those. Boys will be boys, wolves will be wolves, but what does mother know? Feed us your girls, the wolves shout out. Feed us the ones with curves, the ones without. Feed us your girls, from plate to mouth. Honey, or the entree when you dress like that and mother's not around.
Woo! Oh my gosh, that is excellent. Obviously, it's talking about victim blaming here. Little Red, she knows these streets, so why should she be afraid? She walks out with her blood red cloak, but red's his favorite shade. You'll attract the wrong attention wearing colors such as those. Yeah, that's talking about victim blaming. And I agree that is not okay to blame the victim in any circumstance. And I don't people are going to be like, no, I'm not going to listen to you now. You can condemn that man and wish horrible violence upon him for harming her. And you can also learn from those sort of experiences to say, okay, well, we don't go down that street. We don't go out past this time. And yeah, it sucks. This isn't me saying that it's fine. I'm saying that is the world we live in. And I don't think that it's something that It's part of a patriarchal society. I think it's part of living in this world. What I've always described us women as is the bunnies of the world. We, unfortunately, are weaker. We have to be more vigilant. And I say bunnies because I remember growing up on the acreage that I grew up with my grandparents, there were bunny holes everywhere. And I disrupted one once. And I shouldn't have, because they are very, very sensitive. Bunnies will even abandon their young if they smell what smells like a predator. So I had touched the bunny's den, and the mother left her babies. And I kept checking each day, and it looked like she had abandoned her babies. So I had to take care of the babies after that. And I did. But she did that out of self-preservation. She did that because she knows she is a bunny. She does not have the teeth and claws of a predator. She knows she lives in a world where there are more predators than bunnies. And therefore, she has to be careful. Does she rage against the system? Does she think that it's unfair? I don't know. Probably not, because she's a bunny. And I know we are a higher species, and therefore we should have higher expectations. And we do. We have laws. We have standards. And you know what? Every man that I know would gladly take out their rage and aggression on rapists and PDFs and all kinds of people that harm others, that hurt the weak. In me saying that, I am not blaming her, but I am saying I think we should learn that we live in this world. It's not something that's going to change. It never has, and it never will. And it's not saying, well, we're just letting men do what they want, because we have laws. We have other men who go beat them up. It's not every man. And yes, I know they love to say not every man, but always a man. I don't even agree with that. There are women who rape and molest and all kinds of stuff too. So I agree. Victim blaming is bad. But I also think you can take responsibility for any part of that. If we put it in something that's less emotional than physical assault, let's put something else. Let's say I'm a rich white man and I am walking down a street that is not very rich, that obviously has some poverty and some crime issues. I walk down that street with my wallet out and my fancy watch and my fancy phone, and I'm not paying any attention, and I'm just walking down that street when I feel like it, and I am there at night, whatever.
Yes. Oh, I'm so rich. Oh my. I say, old trap.
Obviously, that's a really dumb guy. He shouldn't be there. He should know better. If someone burglarizes him or harms him, that's evil for them to do that. But that doesn't mean that he couldn't take some responsibility, that he could have maybe made a better decision. Person should still be punished who harmed him, but he could still make a better decision out of that. That's the only point. People get too emotional because we're talking about physical violence of women, and I agree that's an emotional subject, but if you can become objective out of it for a moment and think about the logic behind it, I still want that guy to be, castrated who harmed her. But I also hope that she learns that life is never going to change. We're never going to be in a world where you can walk down the street naked. You just can't. Although that does happen sometimes now with protests and stuff, and in broad daylight with cops protecting them for it. So, who knows? Let's continue. Oh, before we begin, I loved that rise and fall with that music, and just beautiful, beautiful music. I love it.
Dawn arrives and dinner scraps are on the street from just last night. People whisper it's a fault with a red so very bright. A silly girl, a common whore, someone cover up that sight. No one likes to see leftovers by the dawning light. woods, each tree and every stone. Doesn't matter either way when there's a wolf inside your home. You can hear the growlings, you throw the dog a bone. You'll catch more bees with honey, dear, but what does mother know? Feed us your girls, the wolf shout out. Feed us the ones with curves, the ones without. Feed us your girls, from plate to mouth. Honey, you're the entree when you dress like that. Little red was not a meal, a little girl is not a tease. A cloak is not an invitation for what's underneath. A no does not mean yes, there's no riddle, there's no test. Blood red clothes alone at night shouldn't equal death. But the wolves are very hungry, gnashing pointed teeth. Don't care what the rapper's like, it'll eat you if you breathe. So maybe it doesn't matter how we choose to wrap our skin, 'cause you prefer to blame the girl. Deal with your own sin. Feed us your girls. The wolf shout out. Feed us the ones with curves, the ones without. Feed us your girls, from plate to mouth. Honey, you're the entree when you dress like that. The mother's not around.
That is so impactful. I love the way she sings the part. Feed us the ones with curves, the ones without. The ones without. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. I like the section. Little red was not a meal. A little girl is not a tease. A cloak is not an invitation for what's underneath. Our no does not mean yes. There's no riddle. There's no test. Blood red clothes alone at night shouldn't equal death. Of course. All of that is very true. I actually agree. A cloak is not an invitation for what's underneath. Obviously, it's talking about, how a woman dresses is not necessarily about you, about inviting a man into the situation at all. And I agree. I think as a woman, I could wear, professional attire and go to the grocery. It's not because I'm going to a business meeting. It's because I wanted to wear that outfit. So same could be said for clothes that are very sexy or whatever. So it's true that it's not necessarily what that's for. Yes, it's often used for that purpose. Most of the time, people wearing business clothes are on their way to a business meeting. Most of the time, when a woman is wearing very sexually provocative clothes, she's trying to elicit some kind of response from other people. Not always, though, and so that's why you really should be careful about how you approach women, how you comment on anything. How about just don't comment on things? And I really like the section, don't care what the rapper's like. It'll eat you if you breathe. So maybe it doesn't matter how we choose to wrap our skin, because you'd prefer to blame the girl than deal with your own sin. As a Christian, I very much like that. I expect more of my Christian men. I expect more of them. They should not be blaming a girl for their inability to control themselves. So I think that's a great line. So yeah, overall, I really like this song. I think it's beautiful, hauntingly beautiful. The way she sings it and the build up, the rise and fall is just beautiful. So good song. So in conclusion, I actually have quite a few things that I agree with in these songs and with feminists. I don't call myself a feminist for a myriad of reasons. The biggest one being the core beliefs. I know that sounds vague, but what I mean is, well, here, I'll give an example. The issue isn't always a disagreement of facts. It often relates to a disagreement of facts, but it usually has to do with worldview and lens. I have a friend who is a feminist, and a very firm feminist, and she and I, when we have looked at the same news report or looked at the same facts on something, we will come away with completely differing opinions. We might even agree that those facts are the facts, but how we feel about those facts is totally different. It's not, but often we do disagree about facts as well. A non-controversial example would be like, we both can agree when we look out at the sky that it's blue, but we don't both agree that that's a good or bad thing. It's a lame example, but that's what it is. The lens that you use to look at the world colors how you feel about the world. As a Christian, I believe all humans are sinful. I believe men and women have some things that seemingly are unique to each other that make them sin. But overall, we just are sinful creatures. We will always be striving to dethrone sin in our hearts. And we will always fail. As Christians, we are supposed to get closer and closer to Jesus. And as we do, our desire for those sins fade. But I don't think it's something we can ever be completely free of while we're in this life. And therefore, we'll never be free of the sins that are the most damaging, like murder and assault and the things that a lot of these women are talking about. That's why when I hear these songs, I'm saddened. I'm not enraged. I'm not thinking, well, we need to get more legislation and men need to be better. And I mean, I do think that in some of these songs, but I don't think stupid, evil men, it's all their fault. I think humanity is broken and needs God. I think these women are addressing some of the broken ways that they have witnessed men have sin in their lives. The difference is I don't think I would hear a lot of incel songs, although they would be amusing. The men who do these things are the problem, not men are the problem. I think humans are the problem at large, not just men. I'm saddened for the women who have been victimized. That's not to say that I'm not counted among them, but it doesn't make me think there's a patriarchy. It doesn't make me think feminism is the way. Feminism isn't the way because men aren't the problem. Humans are the problem. So this trad wife will keep on wifing, but I'll also keep on overthinking.
See the world through a feminist lens. I always hear them say that saying, but I didn't know it was an actual, literal thing. This is pretty cool. I always wanted to see what the other side sees. Everything looks pretty normal. Do you hear that? What the hell is that? Oh my god, is that the patriarchy?